Hey Merlin, you're trapped in here now. I closed the door, so. Hello everyone, it's your fairy godmother Mint. It's your fairy godmother Mint, and welcome back to my couch where today is our first Fae Wednesday. Are you excited? I know you are. I've been getting so many comments and messages like, when's the next fairy video? It's now. So today I thought we would talk about some household fae, since they are probably the fae that people want to work with the most, and I know you guys just want to jump directly into working with them. So I'm glad that everyone watched my previous video, which was the warning about making contracts with fae, just to kind of, let you know what you're getting into before we jump right into just offerings and, working with the fae in your home. So I thought we would start with brownies. So if you don't know what a brownie is a sort of hob, which is a house fae. They originated in English and Scottish folklore. However, they do have a place all across the world. Household fae are something that are known around the world, just with different names depending on what culture you're talking about. They're also known in Canada and North America by indigenous people and native tribes as well. They are sometimes called household fae, hobgoblins, or house elves, which of course everyone's gonna immediately think of Dobby. I mean, I don't hate Dobby, I just don't really like him. There are loads and loads of stories about household fae. There's a story of the elves and the shoemaker where they come out and make shoes for him. Leprechauns are also known to be cousins of household fae, more of like a trickster hobgoblin type. There are lots of tales of some kind of worker going to bed at night and then waking up in the morning and all his work is done, and the house elves or the brownies have done the work for him. These beings are nocturnal, so they do sleep during the day and then do all their work at night. They're very studious, they're very hardworking, they like to keep a place clean. So a brownie doesn't necessarily fall in love or not fall in love. A brownie doesn't necessarily have an attraction to the person as much as they have attraction to the property or the home or the spirit of the home. Some people believe that a brownie is a spirit of the original owner of a place or original inhabitant of a plot of land who has kind of transformed into this kind of spirit creature that wants to continue taking care of their land. Some people believe that they are just fae creatures that like to tend to the earth. Some people believe that hobgoblins and brownies are earth fae. Some people believe that they are water fae. It really depends on the tradition and the culture. I learned about them as earth fae because in my tradition they are called dogwood people, and they prefer to take care of the land. They also take care of crops and livestock in that area as well. Once they have chosen a home or a property or entire family that they feel can use some help, that are worthy of their help, then they will move in and start to help spruce up the place while you're asleep. They'll help with cleaning, they'll help with like producing products if you're someone who produces a product. Like I said, they'll help with livestock. They basically help with your livelihood and make it better if you are someone they feel is worthy of that help. That means if you're a good person, if you're an honest person, if you're kind, if you're kind to animals, if you're kind to the earth, if you are a trustworthy person just in life in general, if you are basically just a good, respectful, wholesome being, then they say, wow, I just want to help that person out because they're making the world better. They come in and do that. Now, when it comes to giving offerings to brownies, you have to be extremely careful. Just like with any other fae, you have to be extremely careful not to thank them and not to directly give them things not to directly address them saying, here, this is for you. It's best to leave something out or to put something somewhere kind of like just as like a little like here, like try doing something without saying here you go. Just leave a plate of cookies out and go about your day. They don't like to be directly addressed. They don't want you to,
say, here you go, fairies, here is your item.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, you're not supposed to know I exist. If you know I exist, I'm gonna peace out. It's supposed to be some kind of like neighborly gesture. So leaving things out like cake, butter, cream, porridge, any kind of sweet, delicious confectionery, preferably homemade. They do enjoy homemade items. They enjoy when you've worked for something and then you've given it as a generous gesture or just as a gesture in general. Well, so many G's. Do not, however, give them any clothing or shoes or tools like that, because they take that as you saying, well, you're not dressed well enough, here, have this, or like your feet look like they hurt, here, have some shoes, or you're not doing a good enough job, here are some tools. Those things are offensive to them, and if you give them any of those things, they will immediately pick up and leave. In some cultures, they will just pick up and leave and you'll be fine. Some people believe that they will then start messing up what they've helped you cultivate because you've offended them and they're mad. And like we've talked about before, some fae like to take revenge, or they're vindictive and they're just like, wow, you've insulted the crap out of me.
Fuck your shit up. Just fuck your shit up. Just
Knocking stuff down, breaking things, misplacing things. The luck that they have given you is just quickly withdrawn. Your trees dry up, your skin looks bad, your shoulders are hunched, your teeth falling out. You know what I'm saying? Just don't give them anything that is offensive to them. Don't give them anything that seems like what you're doing isn't good enough. Here, this will improve it, because that's not an improvement. They're just gonna be mad. That's like, you know, that episode of Father Ted, that episode that no one is gonna know what I'm talking about. There's this great episode in Father Ted, which is one of my absolute favorite shows, where Mrs. Doyle, who is this totally story out of nowhere, Mrs. Doyle takes care of Father Ted. He's a priest, and she brings him tea every day, and she enjoys the act of making tea and pouring it and steeping it and adding just the right amount of cream and sugar. She enjoys that whole ritual. But for Christmas, he buys her a tea maker, like a tea machine that just, you put your cup under it and the tea comes out. And she's like, what's this piece of shit? You didn't think my tea was good enough? You gave me this piece of shit machine? Like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like giving something to someone who enjoys the craft of doing things a certain way, and giving them like a machine that just does it for them and takes away that joy of creating. That was a huge story that I hope made sense. It's a really good episode. But, you know, keep your offerings to something delicious, you know, delicious food or snack, and your relationship should be just beautiful. It should go swimmingly. Again, if you're someone who has a garden or some plants or herbs and anything that you take care of outside, it's nice to leave your offering outside, and they will help to cultivate your garden and help the plants to grow beautifully. They are not particularly, what are those words? They're not particularly fond of cats. It's so hard for me to say particularly that I have to say it so slow. It's my tongue just wants to go somewhere else. Yeah, they're not too fond of cats. So you have to be careful with if you have like a lot of cats, because, you know, cats are, they chase small things, you know, so your cats are well fed and they have their own treats, so they're not messing with anything. If you have like fat old happy cats, it should be fine. They do like fireplaces, they like the warmth, so leaving them offerings by the fireplace is very nice. They are also very fond of already clean homes. So if you are working with any household fae at all, having a clean and tidy home will really help to invite them in, and they will just continue to bring you good fortune, good luck, and to help keep your place tidy. They also like to leave small gifts around if your house is clean. If your house is a mess, they're not going to come in and like clean your house for you. That's something that they don't like. If your house is a complete mess and you've got stuff lying out, things that would be important to one person, you've got just like on the floor, you know, not caring about it. Those types of things are huge turnoffs. And that's not to say that if you're like a really busy person and you try to keep everything as tidy as possible, that they won't come in and try to help you. It's just if you're like a gross slob, they're like, ew, yuck, and they just keep going. But say you're like a busy single mom or something and you've got like 8 kids and like 50 cats, and like you try your hardest to keep your house tidy, to feed everyone, and you're kind to your animals, and it's just really hard because you've got a whole lot of stuff to do, they'll see that effort and they'll come in and try to like, you know, give you as much help as possible and just like be there for you and give you, and to kind of supplement with what you're missing being a busy ass mom with 8 kids. Oh my God, could you imagine having 8 kids? Just the noise, the decibels, like it was so loud. And like I said, with the dogwood people of the Cherokee, they really enjoy taking care of villages. They do enjoy taking care of the entire family. They like to help in any way they can, along with lending good fortune. They like to lend like messages and notes and kind of symbols and signs around to help you navigate your life or to help you solve problems or answer questions that you have. It's very much a spiritual experience. It's kind of like a give and take sort of thing where you're giving these offerings, you're giving these neighborly gifts of delicious food, and then in turn they're giving you a bit of knowledge, a bit of understanding, a bit of spiritual guidance, as well as the comfort of having a happy, warm home. I hope that answered some questions for you guys. I'm going to be doing a quick Faye video like this every Wednesday, so you can go ahead and pick out your notebooks, write down everything you need to know, your little notes and everything, and then go on the internet or go out into the world of libraries and find more information about the things that you'd like to learn more about. So I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. Have a lovely week. I will see you guys back on Friday with a non-Faye related video. Have a lovely, gorgeous evening. Pleasant dreams. Tell yourself that you're magical and wonderful because you are. I love you. Mwah!